Americans, European leaders, it's time for you guys to leave us alone. We are sick and tired. You guys don't want us in your country or in your continent, and yet you can't keep our business off your mouth or off your hands. Unfortunately, as Africans, we are about to witness the same thing that we've seen before being repeated again. The same thing they did to Patrice Lumumba, the same thing they did to Kwame Nkrumah, the same thing they did to Thomas Sankara, the same thing they did to Gaddafi is the same thing they are about to do to Captain Ibrahim Traore. When will this end? Enough is enough. We've had enough. Leave Captain Ibrahim alone. What has he done? All he wants to do is better the life of his people. Where does that hurt you guys? Where does that hurt you guys? Africans, wake up and stand up. We've watched them do this before. I don't think we should watch them do it again. Leave this great man alone. All he wants is to better his people. All he wants is to be a great leader and give his people the best lifestyle, or give them the best opportunity they can receive in life. What's your problem? You are here deporting everyday Africans back to their country, and yet you don't want to leave us alone. Do you think if our countries were okay, we would be in your country? No, we wouldn't. Why are you guys so threatened?
Yo, what is this I'm hearing about how France and the US want to arrest Ibrahim Traore? Are you taking the piss? Like this man didn't kick France out of his country. Like this man didn't open up 2 tomato processing plants. Like this man didn't make medical healthcare free for all, no matter what your status is. And recently, over the last couple of days, made education free up until uni. And the dirty, stinking colonizers want to arrest him. Are we supposed to act like France didn't have its hands around Burkina Faso's throat for how long? And now we have a leader who's doing what no bumper clock cowardice African leader has done. And you want to arrest him on what charges? Listen, as a black people, if there's one thing we can all unite around the globe, it's because of this man, you understand? And he needs to be protected, all costs, spiritually, physically, mentally. He needs to be protected by every single one of us.
I think at this point, there should be a continental African protest against the US to tell them to stay away from Africa's affairs. Every single country in Africa needs to organize a protest to tell America to stay away from Burkina Faso's affairs, to tell America to stay away from Ibrahim Traore's affairs. Ibrahim Traore is already anointed by the ancestors, and they dare not touch our anointed. It's enough. He has already made brighter examples that other African leaders are already following. We don't want any interruption. We don't want any disruption. America, take your savior syndrome out of Africa. We didn't ask for your help. Everybody in Africa is already celebrating Ibrahim Traore. And for this man in this photo, this one up here, I don't have anything to say about him. But just remember what Malcolm X said. They will pay one of us to unalive one of us, so they will say it's one of us. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, yo, France and America is getting desperate right now, and it's showing. They're getting desperate. They're running out of ideas, man. No, they got this super coon right here. They got this man right here saying shit like Ibrahim Traore Burkina Faso is a dictator, saying that Ibrahim Traore Burkina Faso, the people needs to get him out, and all this fake propaganda bullshit. France is getting desperate. They're getting so fucking desperate. They got people in the country right now protesting. They're paying people in the country right now to protest against Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traore leadership. They're getting desperate. They tried to kill this man, over 20 times, and it didn't work. They're trying to unalive this man over 20 times, and it didn't work. So now they got to find a new tactics to try to get at him. Now they're pulling the Obama move. They're trying to get a black man, this motherfucker right here, this coon right here. They're trying to get him, as usual. Whenever they're trying to get the work done, They always got to find a black face. It's the same playbook. I know you got France is going into Haiti. France is getting Algeria to beef with Mali. It's a whole fucking plot. They're running out of ideas, so they're paying all of these puppets on payroll to go out and do their dirty work. That's it. But Burkina Faso is setting the trend. Ibrahim Traore is setting the trend for all the leaders to step the fuck up. And I'm seeing what Ghana is doing too. Ghana is stepping the fuck up. Ghana is making moves. And they don't want that shit. They don't want Africa to revolutionize all its fucking mineral. That's why they're going so hard, man. But Ibrahim Traore need to be protected at all costs.
So for the past 3 days, I've been asking myself, why is that the people in the West always think that they know better than Africans, and they want to tell Africans what to do? But here comes the answer. So all of a sudden, the West is concerned about the gold in Burkina Faso. Is it really about the resources, or it's about the people? The people of Burkina Faso is not complaining. Africa is not complaining about Ibrahim Traore. As a matter of fact, we are very happy with whatever he's doing, taking care of his people, taking care of the nation. If we are not worried about Burkina Faso, why should the West be worried about Burkina Faso and they use someone who looks just like us? All skin folks and kin folks, like you guys will say. Why is it that America all of a sudden is concerned about the gold in Burkina Faso? Do you think this is the right time for Burkina Faso to actually invite people from the West to come to the country? Please, at this point, at this moment, it is a serious matter. So if you take it anyhow you want to take it, that is up to you. I don't think this is the right time, because this is how people are being used to infiltrate we Africans. Where are the Pan-Africans? Where are the African-American Pan-Africans who are so dearly talking, good stuff about Burkina Faso? Please, don't stop talking. This is the time that you need to keep talking, so the world will know that we agree with Burkina Faso and we are not going to sit down for this to happen. Ibrahim Traore says you guys should keep talking. He sees what is happening on social media, but he is aware that this day was about to come. He is aware that this day was about to come. If you do not learn from what unalive your father, the same thing will unalive you. He knew this day was coming because of what happened to Thomas Sankara. That is why we always have to learn from the past. All of a sudden, and you guys are worried about China. You are worried about China. No, don't be worried about China. Be worried about the West. All of a sudden, leave Burkina Faso alone. The people of Burkina Faso, we want you guys to be very strategic. We are solidly behind you.
Ibrahim Traore has declared from today, if you are a minister and you are entitled to serve the people and you steal $1, I'm talking about $1, you are going to spend 2 years in prison. They don't want anything to do with stealing public money, and Ibrahim Traore has been very, very clear. The money from Burkina Faso is for serving the people of Burkina Faso. Number 2, if you are a minister, a servant of the people, and you have an offshore account, you are scrapped from that position of a minister. And he did that. Just imagine, he fired his foreign affairs minister because of having a foreign account, an offshore account. Just imagine how serious they are. And he has said corruption must end in Africa, starting from Burkina Faso, because Burkina Faso will be the example.
They are coming to unalive Ibrahim Traore. Yes, you heard me right. They are coming, and by they, the West are coming to unalive Ibrahim Traore. They have tried covertly over 20 times. Now they're being direct. And you know why I know they're being direct and they're coming for him? Because I have seen this playbook before many, many times. I've seen this playbook for Muammar Gaddafi. I have seen it for the Middle East. I have seen it for different countries around the world that are destabilized. The guy, Langley is his name. I'll put his picture. I don't even want to give him the Langley, the guy in Africa. He was making statements talking about they need to go free the people of Burkina Faso that they are suffering under the leadership of Ibrahim Traore. Suffering. I saw a statement from the lady from EU. I'll put a picture too as well. The president of EU talking about the Sahel region is very poor and they need help because of this. And my question to these Americans and to the Europeans that love to always be in Africa's business: who asked you? Who asked you to come and save us? Somebody please tell me. To the Americans that are so horny to come and save Africans, from what? Because the chaos we as Africans are dealing with in our continent today can be tied back to you guys. Oh yes, it can be tied back to you guys. It can be tied back to you guys. Every single fuckery in Africa, every coup d'etat, every instability, every terrorist group in Africa can be traced back to the West. So don't you dare come on your news channel and talk about the sufferings of the Burkina Faso people. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone. And if you are an African watching this video right now, you better wake the fuck up. I just got back from the gym. It's almost morning where I am. Wake the fuck up. Share this video, like this video, share content. If we as Africans have to go and protest at every single American embassy, we must. I am ready. If I have to go and protest in the American embassy here in Switzerland, I will. Because what the fuck? What the fuck? We as Africans, we have to remind the West that we are not our parents. If you are an African today and you're watching this video, you have to tell the West that we are not our parents. We have a voice and we are going to use that voice. And social media is our biggest ally, especially TikTok. Because back then, they could do whatever they wanted to do. We'll sit on CNN and be like, okay. Now we have social media. We get to see directly what he's doing. He's improving his country. I mean, Ibrahim Traore, he has supporters from America. I have seen so many Black Americans chanting his praises, praying for him, wishing him well. I have seen Africans in the continent who are not even West Africans supporting Ibrahim Traore. I have seen South Africans. I've seen Kenyans, Tanzanians, Namibians, Cameroon, Nigerians support that guy like nothing. Support him. They love him. God, when he went to Ghana, the Ghanaians were cheering him. You would have thought he was the president of Ghana. That man has unified Africa to believe in good leadership. Leave Ibrahim Traore the fuck alone, America. Leave Ibrahim Traore the fuck alone, Europe. We don't need your saving, because your saving typically doesn't help anybody. It only helps you. You guys saved Libya. Where is Libya today? You guys saved the Middle East. Where is it today? You guys saved Afghanistan. Where is it today? Syria. Where is it today? Palestine. Where is it today? You guys bring nothing but destruction. You tell us to go back to our countries, yet you cannot seem to stay the fuck away from our countries. And that's why I say to you Europeans, that you're always telling us to go back to our country, especially for some of you, for the Europeans that are from these countries that just can never leave Africa alone. We are going to come to your countries. Oh yes, your countries now belong to us too. Because if your governments are going to keep sticking their hands in our government, bringing guns, bringing all sort of destruction to our countries, we're going to come to yours. Oh, we are going to come to yours. And you can go far right, you can go all the farthest right, all you want. Your countries belong to us now. Because you know why? Because your government can never seem to stay the fuck away. Instead of kicking the immigrants, why don't you tell your government to shut the fuck up and leave us alone? But you guys will never do that, because you know why? Because you benefit. You benefit. You want all the resources, you want all the access, but you don't want the people. But you know what? We are an inevitable. Africans are inevitable, because no matter what you guys do to us, we multiply. We are an inevitable. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone. I've seen this playbook before. You hold your press conference with your military, talk about the people of Burkina Faso are suffering. We have to go save them. Dear Americans, have you saved your own countries? I'm asking you. To the Americans that want to come and save the people of Burkina Faso, have you solved your homelessness crisis? Have you solved your racial crisis? Every single day, there is a racist attack coming from America. Every single month, there's a school shooting. Have you saved that? Have you solved that? Have you solved your student loan crisis? Have you solved your incarceration crisis? Have you solved it? Oh no, you don't want to do that. But you want to come all the way from America to Burkina Faso to save the people of Burkina Faso. You don't care about us. You don't care about us. You care about our resources. Isn't it funny how all of a sudden the West and America want to come and save Burkina Faso after Ibrahim Traore kicked out the French? Isn't it funny how he survived over 20 assassinations, survived it? He has the loyalty of the people. He has the loyalty of the guards. Because if he didn't, we'd have gone. Because even that, what that tells me is that even the people close to him, they want change. Africans are tired of suffering. We are tired. We are tired. I am tired. Do you know how many Africans would love to have Ibrahim Traore as the president? As a Nigerian, I wish we could have him as our president. And that tells you one thing. A lot of you Westerners that are talking about Africa, you always love to say it wasn't a democratic government. We don't give a fuck about democracy. This is something a lot of Westerners need to understand. We don't give a shit about democracy. The average African could care less what democracy is all about. Democracy is an import. We don't care about it. What we care about as Africans is good leaders. That's it. If it comes in military, who gives a shit? But let's be honest, even you European countries, America was never built under democracy. Most of you, from the British to the French to the Germans, most of your wealth did not come under democratic. It came under monarchy. It came under monarchy, feudalism, or whatever. It was not democracy. I know that much. I know that much. You may claim to be a democratic country, but you're not. The only country that is close enough to a democracy is probably Switzerland. But I know America is not a democracy. Don't stop talking to us about democracy. The fuck? You are an oligarchy. America is an oligarchy. It's not a democracy. So don't tell us about democracy. Don't tell us about something you don't even practice. And this applies to the West as well. Stay the fuck away from Ibrahim Traore. As Africans, I am speaking to you. This is a call to action to every single African watching this video. They are coming to unalive Ibrahim Traore directly because I've seen this playbook before. They've started holding press conferences. They've started talking about saving the people. They don't give a shit about the people. It's a song and dance. It's a carrot and stick. They need an excuse to start invading. You talk about democracy? What has your puppets done? From what I gather, the last coup was done and organized by Ivory Coast. He can't even trust his neighbors. What the fuck are we doing? Africans, we got to rise the fuck up. We need to show the West that we are not our parents. We're not going to bend over and take it. If we have to go and protest, let us. And if there's a protest happening close by, somebody please tell me. If we have to send letters to the American embassy for them to back off, let us tell them. Because if we remain silent for the Africans home and abroad, and not just to the Africans, even to the Americans, to the black Americans, to the Europeans, I've even seen Europeans, white Europeans, chanting his praises. If you are a true ally of good leadership in Africa, you have to speak up. You must speak up. If we can join the military, let us join the military, because this is not just about anything. It is the salvation of African countries. Because let me tell you something. No matter where I and you go as an African, we will never be truly accepted. The only place that is our home is Africa. And if we have to defend it with our lives, we must be able and willing to do that. Enough is enough. Africans are sick of it. And it's so funny to me how they come and they speak on Africa so much. They speak for us as if we can't speak for ourselves. Who asked you for help? But I can guarantee you, they already have their puppets aligned. That's the only thing with Ibrahim Traore. He's surrounded by enemies. He can't even trust Nigeria because Nigeria will throw him under the bus. Unfortunately, it breaks my heart. This is the kind of situation where Nigeria, the so-called giant of Africa, should put out his chest and say, bruh, back off. Unfortunately, Nigeria is in the pockets of the West. Thanks to Tinubu. So, hey, Ibrahim Traore has unified Africans because he has shown us Africans, home and abroad, that great leadership, intentional leadership is possible if you have the right leaders. Is he a perfect man? I'm sure he's not. Like, bro, come on. Who is perfect? We have politicians sitting in office for decades doing nothing. He's actually, I don't care if he's stealing money. I don't care. It's not my thing. He's doing something. He's producing. That's what we care about. I don't care. As Africans, we have to do something. We need to leverage this social media. We need to like posts speaking about the protection of Ibrahim Traore. We need to share. We need to make, if we have to protest, we must protest. Because this is where our generation needs to make a landmark decision. Our parents' generation, they failed us. The generation of our parents, they have failed us. I have a grudge against the African boomers. They have failed my generation immensely. You had the chance to build up African countries. You didn't. You had a chance to stop tribalism. You didn't. You had a chance to fight and fight and fight. This is a fight that will never end. You have to fight. You have to defend your territory. You don't. You see some dollars, you fail. You see some pounds, you fail. You fall. You see some euros, you fall. You sit in office for decades doing nothing. But we are the people. We are more than them. Don't let anybody fool you. The people of Africa are more than their elites. If we come together and speak, we will make an impact. And that is what I am saying. They want to unalive Ibrahim Traore. They are coming up with a plan. Because I've seen this playbook before many times, man. They're going to start with press conferences, talk about human rights violations, because he's a military guy in Africa and he has kicked them out. All of a sudden, they care about our human rights. Miss me with that shit. Africans, rise up, speak, fight. We are not the West puppet. We are not their fleshlight anymore. This is not about me. This is not about you. It's about the protection of our territories and our countries. You cannot interfere with our country. Look at Congo, for God's sake. Look at Congo. The West is balls deep in there. Look at Sudan. The West is balls deep in there. The terrorism that happens in Nigeria, the Fulani headsmen, the West are balls deep in there. All the chaos that is across Africa, the West are in there. So why do you think they want to stop that chaos? Because it doesn't benefit them. They have no incentive. You've had your military bases in Africa for decades. Nothing has changed. So get the fuck out. All of a sudden, when you're told to get the fuck out, you want to come save the people. You've had decades to save the people. We haven't done that. You see, I see what the West want to do. See, the West, they want to keep Africans low, because when we are low, they have an excuse to make fun of us. They want us Africans to be the punching bag of their jokes. They want to be racist to us and have justifications. You see those Africans, they can't lead themselves. Look at them fighting all the time, not knowing that they are the ones sponsoring the fighting. They want to be able to say, look at those Africans are so poor. They can't take care of themselves, so that we can send them aid and have more access to their resources. Ibrahim Traore is telling you, no, we don't want that. We are good. You don't like that. All of a sudden, you want to go save the people? Africans, rise up, speak, protest if we must. And if there's a way for us to support him, we will, and we are. I hope this video reaches America. I hope this video reaches Europe, and we need to make noise. Enough is enough. Solve your own problems in your own countries and leave us the fuck alone. Thank you.
The security situation in Burkina Faso, as of today, the 23rd of April 2025, had become a top priority for Ibrahim Traore's government after the alleged coup that was supposed to take place on him a couple of days ago. Well, the coup that was luckily stopped by the security services. I just received some fresh update. But to be honest with you, there is nothing too new in this update that I've just received than what we already know. But they are beginning to touch on fine, little important details. And I'm going to discuss that with you in this very short video. The Burkina Faso army alleged that all the conspirators, everybody involved in the planning of this coup, are all based in the neighboring country, Ivory Coast. I know you already know that. They've got their names, they've got their identities, but the aim of their plan at large is not yet known. But we know they were trying to delete Ibrahim Traore, cause mayhem and confusion within the country, and allow France to come in from the back door. We know that. So how did we get here? Why are they trying so hard? Why are they paying so much money to assassinate Ibrahim Traore, or to get Burkina Faso back under the control of Western organization? Why is that? Let me tell you the reason why very briefly. You see, Ibrahim Traore took over the country's presidency, and he had shifted away from the traditional ties from France, and he is now seeking more close alliance with Russia, something which Ivory Coast seems to have a problem with. Ivory Coast did not like the idea that Burkina Faso is now becoming so close and friendly with Russia. That is a fact. If you didn't know that, Go and look it up. And they want Burkina Faso to reinstate the control of France back in the country, because Ivory Coast themselves are currently under the full control and relationship with France and the West. That is the only reason why they are able to penetrate, to come closer to Burkina Faso, because Ivory Coast is the weakest link. Ivory Coast is the shorter route for them to go into Burkina Faso. So now you get the story. Ibrahim Traore shifted away from the West, moving toward Russia, because he understands what these people give and take. He doesn't want that for his people any longer. He's now moving toward Russia, seeking a close tie and a close alliance with Russia. But the West don't like that. France doesn't like that. Ivory Coast doesn't like that, because Ivory Coast is already under the control of France and the West. So you see what the problem is. The Burkina Faso security minister, Mamadou Sana, said the coup attempt was led by both former and current soldiers collaborating with terrorist leader in Ivory Coast. You heard that? That is what Mamadou Sana said, the Burkina Faso security minister. He said the coup was planned by both current and former, soldiers, former military personnel collaborating with terrorists in the neighboring country. They are collaborating with terrorist leader in Ivory Coast. The goal of the plot was to attack the presidential palace last week with the intention of showing or causing total mayhem within the country and placing the country under supervision of international organization. France. That was the aim. The aim was to take out Ibrahim Traore. Possibly anybody that is loyal to him will be deleted as well. And then with the arms shipment that was received from France, all the weapon, gun, bombs, ammunition, everything you can imagine that could be used in a war front, apparently was in that ship that was sent to Ivory Coast by France to be sent to Burkina Faso when they've taken out Ibrahim Traore. But thank goodness they failed. God was ahead of them. And they failed big time. So they wanted to attack the presidential palace, cause mayhem, start chaos in the country, and then allow international organization to come in as, you know what they call it, humanitarian, you know what they do it. And then they'll start squeezing the life out of the ordinary people. They'll start spreading their tentacles back into the natural resources. What is France's interest in Burkina Faso? Why can they not leave Burkina Faso alone? Why can they not leave Africa alone? They've colonized the country, we know that. But what is it this time? Why are they coming back to try to colonize the country again in the 20th century? This marks the latest in series of attempted assassination of Ibrahim Traore. Apparently, he had escaped about 10 times. They've tried to eliminate him. And there have been a lot of militant attack across the country, being sponsored and controlled by foreign organization, foreign interest coming through from Ivory Coast. According to Sana, he said the plotter had, attempted to enlist the support of Burkinabe religious and traditional leader as well, in order to sway army officers to back the coup. They actually tried to get the attention of Burkinabe religion and traditional leaders. They tried to enlist them. They tried to buy them. Because from the report I heard, they were paying people as much as $5 million US each just to get you on their side. get the religious leader and the traditional leader so that they can start preaching and start going in the head of the ordinary people, those that believe in all this foreign religion, so that they can get more support for the coup to happen in a very uniform way. God. Let me continue. The plan involved an assault on the presidency home on Wednesday, 16th of April 2025, with a group of soldiers recruited by Burkina Faso adversary, Burkina Faso's enemy. They've already paid and got in the head of a few military officers with money, and they brought them through from Ivory Coast. They are well equipped, ready to get the go for them to carry out their operation. But thank goodness, God was ahead of them. Sana confirmed that the masterminder behind this plot to delete Ibrahim Traore is located outside the country, specifically Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. In other words, how are we going to resolve this problem?